right, you guys are good to go.
Okay.
Hi everyone, welcome to our live stream for today. My name is Gloria Muzito. I'm a senior at Florida State, and we have our guest here for tonight.
Hi, my name is Umi, and I'm a junior at FIU.
Hey, my name is Alexander. I'm a senior at Bowdoin College.
And the topic for today is going to be how we handle different stress, nerves at championship meets, just to share our tips and tricks on how you can go along with it. So our first question we wanted to discuss was, how do you handle the stress and the nerves that build up towards a meet? Do any of you guys want to share what's your tricks or what do you do?
For us, like we have a big speaker where we can put our music. So usually I just put like dancing music and I dance and I don't think about like my race coming up because otherwise like I just like get into my head and I just don't appreciate like living my race during the moment. And I feel like music and talking to my friend like really helped me to just like think about something else.
Yeah, kind of building off of that, just focusing on having fun and leading up to the meet. I know I work really hard during practice. It's like easier said than done, but I try not to set any expectations leading up to the race. Just try to go in, compete as best I can, and whatever happens, happens. But it's always fun for me to compete regardless of the times or the position. So I just try to lean into that and just have fun with my teammates and my fellow competitors.
No, I feel that's great. Like that's always what I try to do as well. Like no matter how hard the competition can be or like the level of the meet, just always trying to have fun. Like we do the same thing, Umi. Like our team, the ladies team, we have a dance circle that we do like right before every meet after our dynamics. And like it's just a way for us to like shake off the nerves. Like we get together, everyone has a different dances that they do, and yeah, just like try to like dance it off basically. And I feel like you always do your best when you're just having fun.
Yeah.
Like no pressure, just go. Like don't think. My coaches always tell me that. Like just shut off your brain. Like don't think.
Like yeah, like I feel like bringing like the dance together like just like make you realize like we're all in this, like no matter what you're swimming, like your team have your back, and just like do whatever you can, and at the end of the day like we're still gonna have fun like this, like no matter how what is the race, like the outcome.
Yeah, and just emphasis on the don't think part. I mean, you that's what practice is for. Like you drain it down into your body so that you don't have to think and you can just let your body do its thing. So sometimes I like have to come up with different mental tricks to try to like keep my mind clear, whether it's listen to music, whether it's like tap a rhythm on my leg. I don't know. I've come up with a few tricks along the way, but just emphasis on trying to keep my mind clear going up into the race. And if that means like finding a quiet space and like going to yourself, sometimes I do that for finals. I usually just try to stay quiet, like 30 minutes leading up to my race, just try to be by myself and listen to music. So it works however well for you.
No, that's good. Here we also have Jocelyn.
Sorry, guys. Wait, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Okay.
you.
Like, I can't be like taken down, so that's nice. Wait, what are you talking about? What's the question?
We're just talking about our different strategies in handling stress and nerves towards the meet. So we're sharing our different strategies. Do you have any in mind that you do?
Music for sure. I think I heard Alex say music. I also really love a good like cheer. Like the roller coaster one is really fun. Just to get help everybody like unclutch. I don't know if this is weird, but I really like to talk to people behind the blocks. I think like if we're all about to get in and like swim a 4 a.m., like we might as well kiki, you know? Like, let's like take the edge off. Like, and I mean, even if it's just like a 50 free, like it also like, it just, I mean, I've had some of my best races and like met some of the most beautiful people behind the blocks. Because I mean, it's a great way to find like similarities. And just meet people. So I think, yeah, that's race or like how to stay calm strategy sort of thing.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like just now, recently having ACCs, me and my friends doing the relays. Like I always swim better in relays because we're just having so much fun. Like in the call room, we're dancing. Behind the blocks, we're walking into like the music, we're just dancing and having fun. Like I feel like that's always just the best. And like the rest of the show too. Like always swim the best in the relays together.
I'm always dancing too. Like even if I mean I don't really like country music, but even if there's country music playing, I'll like start doing the wobble. Like it's also like you're literally wearing a knee skin. Like I feel like nothing is off limits, you know. And so yeah, I love to dance too.
No, that's great. But how do you guys deal with like what mental strategies are there to calm yourself down? Because obviously we've all been on different like high level meets, championships. Sometimes our strategies don't work. So what can you do then in the moment to try and calm yourself down?
I feel the more important thing is like, okay, like that bad thing is happening, but it's important to like bounce back, because if you just like, it's like, oh my god, this is happening, oh my god, this is happening, like obviously you're not gonna react like the way you should react, and just like be able to acknowledge the fact that yes, this is happening, but what are like stuff that are in my control and stuff that are not in my control, and it's important to like realize and make the difference of like what you can control and what you cannot, and bounce back from that.
I like that.
Yeah, I think that's, you put it better than any way I could have said it. But it's like, and recognizing that like just trying to keep a positive attitude really goes a long way. And like taking that second to breathe and recollect, and try to get back into the game, keep your head cool. I mean, all these things, again, easier said than done, but like as you keep that in mind, it gets easier as you keep practicing. And so when I wake up first thing in the morning, I'm focusing on staying positive. If that means fixing your bed, if that means stretching, doing your hair, or like whatever it is to like just get your morning started out on the right foot. It's the little things that like add up to a good race. So just keeping that mind positive is really huge too for me.
Yeah, I'll kind of say the same thing. I think positive self-talk is huge. One big thing I noticed at NESCAX was like a lot of the first years, like they do one race, and that one race would like determine the whole rest of their meet. And I feel like I mean, I guess I'll speak for myself. Like I've definitely been there where it's like you're a little disappointed after your first swim, and then it's like you're just like, oh, like I can't continue. But like no, like you have to keep going, and just like I always like to say, like just like keep going forward. Like you can't, it's not like you're going to regress. Like you just have to put one foot in front of the other and like keep pushing, keep going forward. I think that's definitely something like my mom has instilled in me a lot, is like you can't, like there, especially, I mean, like the best example is probably like the world right now. Like there's so much going on in the world right now, but like you just have to keep moving forward and like doing what you have to do to like keep getting better and improve. And I think that definitely helps with like the positive self-talk and like the mindset. I also really like to like go cheer. If I'm like having a bad meet, I'll just like pop a squat behind somebody's lane and be like, yes, queen, like you go. And then I'll swim better because like, you know, good karma really works, sort of thing. But yeah, I think Umi and Alex put it really well. I mean, like Gloria, what do you kind of do to like get your mind right at big meets?
Definitely similar things as you guys are saying, but also like I've learned, like what you said, Alex, practice helps so much. Like also don't be scared and reach out to a psychologist. I've been working with like a sports psychologist just to like prepare for like what if, like if I get nervous, like get too nervous and like get stressed, like prepare and practice before the meet already weeks ahead and try to do like strategies. Okay, what helps me to stay calm? Music, or like we said earlier, like go talk to people, or like maybe if it gets too much, maybe go outside and just breathe and like have some space by yourself just to calm down. Like just practice these ways so then when the time comes, you know you're confident. Okay, I know what to do to help myself calm down, and then I know like I trust what I've done practice before and it will work out. So like just trying to find like what works best for you and try to be like confident with that.
What's your guys' like go-to meet artist? Sorry, Alex, I know you're gonna like say something, but I'm curious.
Oh, I always changes, you know, like it depends on what we're feeling. But Burna Boy, definitely.
I was gonna say Burna. Yeah, he is really good.
I'll go for the video just because you guys said Burna.
I actually sue me, but I'm like a huge fan of SoundCloud right now. Like, just like some house, like
Some house beats, can't go wrong.
Right, it's like, and it's just like my heart rate will like match the music, and I'm like, turn it. I'm like, yes, but if not house, it's probably like probably Bad Bunny.
Oh yeah, there's some good ones there.
Right, like tough, yeah.
I'm listening to
sorry.
Oh, I'm listening to just OG like Atlanta trap or like Future.
Sorry. No.
I'm sorry.
No, never be sorry. Like what? Like I always want to know like what's going on in people's headphones, because I feel like some of the not scariest, like most intimidating swimmers are listening to like 22 by Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
You know? Like, you get it, girl.
What were you gonna say, Umi?
Oh, I was about to say for like a Spanish music, I really like El Alfa, but I feel it's kind of true. Like, I don't know if for sometimes like in your university they do it, but sometimes you have like these people just making video and they stop people and they're like, oh, what are you listening right now? I low-key want to do that with swimmers. Like, what are you listening right now? I need to know.
Yeah, so Amherst is definitely way too small for that, but I'd be down.
Like a big meet, that would be so fun to just stop someone. Like,
yeah, the conference meet.
Videos that's like, again, like people stop, but they're like, what are you wearing? And imagine being like, oh my god, like I'm wearing the Laser Tier Pro, like open back, like retails for this. I'm wearing like sparkly Uggs. Like, like, and my hair product is nothing because we're all natural right now. Oh, I think we got a question. What is your walkout song for finals? This is actually like a very important question.
That one, yeah.
It's too bad the Nescacs, we don't do walkout songs.
But if you gotta choose one then for any meet, let's say it's any meet, like your song.
My song, that's a hard one because it mostly depends also like on the moment, what I feel listening.
Right.
But definitely like a music with high pitch, probably like an Afro song or something, just to like, be dancing behind this vlog and like feeling the music. I don't know. I don't have one in mind right now.
Mine is always like Level Up.
Oh,
because that's just me and my friend. Like we had that ever since like freshman year. That's our dance song for the dance circle. Like that's just the one I think about, and it makes me happy. Like, and just we do our dance behind the block.
I would choose Eggplant. I don't know if you guys know it, but that's a really good song. That was our walkout song for conference last year.
Eggplant?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I would choose Tweaker right now. Do you guys know what that song
Like
is?
D'Angelo Ball.
Yeah, it's like that's like our team's like hype song right now.
Oh, okay.
Wait, Alex, sing it just so because I don't actually know.
Swerved on the corner. Whoa.
There we go.
Oh yeah, that song's been big on our team too. I think my song would either be like Bad and Bougie, just for like the culture, or Inside the Mattress, Deep Cut Future.
Okay.
Yeah.
We should be having like the music playing in the background, guys. Like our little walkout.
Yeah.
Next time, our next intros will be like that.
Literally.
Here we go. Okay, back to topic. Otherwise,
yes.
Do you have any advice for what to do during the day of the meet? Like,
yeah,
yes.
I start out with wins in the morning, so like I do a good job. I mean, it sounds weird when I'm saying it out loud, but like I fix my bed and like I do a good job of fixing my bed, and like I wash my face and I brush my teeth, and like I get on like my nicest sweatpants and I put on like I feel really comfy, and I just focus on doing like good things and feeling good, and just like keeping a circle of just like positivity around me. Yeah.
I like that, yeah. Start with the small wins.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but then weird question. Like, do you get in your head when like your pot, like what happens if you like go to put on your magical, like your lucky pants, and then they're like wet from the dryer still?
Oh, yeah, there's no such thing as lucky pants.
Okay, that's good. That's great though, because I used to be the kind of swimmer like Umi was talking about. Like I had these one pair of like I had one pair of slides. And then the day my slides broke, like I had to take a break because like I had like those were my lucky slides and they were like sparkly zebra print. And I had an emotional breakdown. So now I know like sometimes like you just you need to have multiple pairs of pants.
Yeah.
I do agree with that. Like for me, my main thing is like I can get in my head really easily. So like during the day of the race, like let's say I just have a race on the afternoon, like I will do anything in my power to not think about my race, because otherwise like I feel like when I'm gonna be racing, I'm not gonna like appreciate my race, because I just like want to discover my race with everyone. Like I just feel like otherwise I'm just gonna be frustrated from the first start of anything I would do wrong. So I just like, I don't know, talk with my family. I read a book. I like paint, or I can do like literally anything. If even if you ask me to come and I'm not here, I'll come.
I feel like well, I mean, first thing, like I always want to have like a matching jewelry set on. Like that's big for me. Like I also always want to be smelling good. So I mean, I do like I take care of myself in the morning, sort of thing. And but what I really focus on like are words of affirmation. Like even it, well, I mean, I'm always reading a book, but even if like I'll just like look up on Google like words of affirmation for the day, usually just to like remind myself like it's really a privilege to even swim and just like we're just gonna go in there and like splash around and it's gonna be a great time. Like it might hurt a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's honestly just so much fun. So I just like I really like to focus on grounding myself and reminding myself, like, oh my gosh, like I get to do this. Like that's one of my coach's favorite things to say. He's like, we get to be here. And then he's like, oh, we're doing like 10 2 a.m.s, like all out, but we get to do it. And I'm like, okay, like you're right. You're right. Like, I mean, he is low key right. Yeah. So I think I just like to stay centered. Yeah, that's my. What about yours, Gloria?
It's quite of the same. Like affirmations just comes a long way. Like you have to just talk to yourself in the end of the day and like get that positive, like, okay, you got this. Like you're gonna have fun. Like be thankful. Like you got it yourself all the way here. Like you deserve to be here. Because sometimes you can just be stuck in like, oh no, like I'm stressed. Like oh, like people are faster than me. Like do I even belong here? Like the negative spiral that just starts off. So like just trying to get off already early in the morning, like Umi, you too. Like I call my parents, like just talk to them to like calm myself down and like just talk to my friends around. We're joking around the coaches, like just to feel like good and like feel like okay, like it's gonna be a good day. Like the small wins too, like you said, Alex, just like go off in a good start and
Yeah.
trust the process. So definitely that helps so much.
Yeah. I always call my mom too. And like I love one thing she always says to me, like she'll just be like, don't forget to do a 2-hand touch. And I'm like, oh word. Like I was gonna forget to do that. Thanks, mom. Like and she's like, oh, because my mom like works as a swim official. It's like her side gig, which she loves. But she also loves DQing people. And so she's like, oh my gosh, like don't forget if it's a 200 IM, like that means you had to do X lengths of each stroke. And I'm like, oh, like I was fully gonna push off on the second lap and start doing freestyle. Like it just reminds me, like, because remember like summer league when you were like 7 and you're like barely getting to the other end of the pool and there's like 17 popsicles waiting for you at the like it's just really nice to be like, oh, like now I'm here in the big leagues, but like the big leagues they are kind of lit too. So yeah.
But I feel like that helps so much too. Like just like a coach or a parent just telling you like one single phrase. Sometimes like I can ask for that. Okay, tell me one thing to think about. Just one thing. 2 breaths in the last 25. Like just that, and it helps me so much. Like I'm not thinking about anything else. Okay, I'm just gonna do that one thing. And if I did it, then I'm happy too. Like no matter the outcome, at least like I got that one goal right. I did good then. So like that always helps.
That just reminded me my freshman year when I was like doing races. I think 2 races before conference because I came in spring, and one of my races. So I was about to tell him, "Oh my god, like imagine my goggles slip." And during the 50 my goggles slip, and he was like, "Just one thing, do not stop the race, just keep going. And I kept going. So I had, like, my contacts on, so I couldn't open my eyes, and my goggles slipped. So I was literally like this.
Right.
So yeah, just imagine my face.
Oh. But you got through it. Like,
Yeah.
it's always the worst thing, but you always have to remember, like, you got through it. Do you guys have any other stories, like something that just went completely wrong?
I did have my suit rip once, but it wasn't like that bad. Like I just, well, out of me, like the three, Alex, before you got on, when we were like chatting, I was telling Gloria and Umi this season, like I had them, like I ripped the most suits that I've ever.
Oh.
Like, the first one that I ripped, I was like, oh my gosh, my life is over. Like, how can I continue? But I did continue. And then the next one, I was like, oh, like another one bites the dust. But prior to this year, I actually had ripped a suit out of me, and a really kind girl. I can't remember what school she went to. She actually let me borrow her suit, and then I made a friend. So it ended up like being great, and I swam great. And I was like, oh my gosh, like you put some magic juice in your suit. So that was really, really nice. And I've also definitely had my goggles come off a lot. I've
Yeah.
had the classic, like them, they're like in your mouth, and you're just like, what am I supposed to do? Like, should I should I stop? But you don't stop. You're just like, it's a nice like appetizer having your goggles. But yeah, I think that'd be mine.
No, for me, I remember same freshman year. Like, do not ask me what happened freshman year. I was clumsy. First race, I was in the two medley relay, so it's like the first night before like all the other event. I go in the changing room. I start to put my suit on. I'm almost done. The tight, like the inside tight, open, wild open. Start crying. My balls out. And so my teammates are like, "Why are you crying?" And I'm like, "I know I don't have enough time, guys. It's over." And then I was like, they're crying. They're like, "Why are you crying? Like, remove this. Like, you can like wear a bigger one," because like in my head I had to wear the same size.
Right.
So I remove it. I go out. I see my coach, and my coach was like, "Why are you crying?" And I was like, "Yeah, look at the thing here, whatever." And he's like, "It's okay, whatever." But I feel like for the question saying like, how do you prepare yourself for after a bad swim, for a better swim for the next event, it was actually like really important to like know like, okay, this is this event is done. Like everything that I did in the past I cannot change it because it's already done. Like whatever I can do right now is be better for the future. That's where I need to like set myself up. If I need to cry, or cry a good time, but make sure it's not too long, and like know how to just know that whatever you can do starting from now will only be better for the next race, and not just like be like, oh my god, it was such a bad race, like just
Mhm. No, that's so true. Like we have a saying in our team, like cry in your goggles, swim down, and that's it. Like no more tears after that. So like just having time to process what you've done, but then also find the good things out of it. Like, okay, but I did something good. Like I always say, like you finished the race, you got out of the pool, like worse things could have happened. So like just take that for once, and yeah, just try move forward.
Yeah, I kind of building off of that. I try to think ahead leading up to the meet about if I'm doing multiple races for a swim meet, then leading up to that day, I'm thinking about both of the races, and it's not necessarily all my eggs are in one basket. And so, as I don't typically set expectations for how the races are going to go, but you can kind of visualize them, and I don't know, it kind of just helps me think about I have a schedule for the day, and like regardless of what happens with this race or that race, I still have another opportunity to compete. So me kind of compartmentalizing the day like that kind of helps me just keep things in check.
I like the question. Is there such a thing with like a fast food? Like, would
Yes,
you say like it's a real thing? Do you believe in that?
absolutely.
I
Like,
agree in it.
I think, okay, I have like some qualities that I always look for. Like when I hop into a pool, if it's like a very deep pool, I love that. Like that's a check. I don't really like shallow pools. If the water is like a darker blue, I love that. I don't like clear water, because clear water is a bad. I mean, there's nothing's really a bad side. But if it's like a deep If it's like a deep dark blue pool, I'm there.
Really?
Yeah, like I don't have a lot of superstitions. I'm like, oh my gosh, this pool is flawless. I also really like flipping on the bulkhead.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I'm like, oh my gosh, like just like something about the physics of it, maybe. I have no idea. But I think those are like there's definitely a fast pool. Because yeah, but maybe
No.
that was just like weird.
No, I get you though, but I don't. I'm the opposite. I don't like when it's deep. Like I need it shallow. Like I feel
What?
What?
it.
Like
I
if
don't
it's deep and I see like the end, I feel like I'm not moving forward.
right?
But your time is faster, but then your time is faster because you're like, oh my god, like I'm so far, like I'm barely there. And then you get to the one, you look at the scoreboard and you're like, oh my god, like I'm her. Right?
I'm hurt. I love that.
No, I feel like being able to like see my like progression. I'm like, okay, yes, I see. I can go fast. Let's just
Oh
go.
my god, wow. But I feel like that's so misleading though, because then if you feel like you're moving, like if you're looking at the thing, then you're like, you're not gonna slow down. I don't know. I just really like a deep pool. Oh, and it has to be freezing too. Like it's miserable when it's freezing, but like a freezing
awesome.
deep pool. It's always good.
Want to get out, so
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, that makes sense. I don't know. I kind of like a solid pool, like no like bulkhead, like just two like physical walls, like the solid blocks. And it's like, I mean, it's all arbitrary, but I really just call it a fast pool. Usually when I feel good in warm ups, it's like
True.
it's also part of just like a strategy to like psych myself up into swimming well. But like, I don't know. I like a comfortable pool, so I don't like it to be freezing cold. I like solid walls on either end because I'm doing breaststroke.
I have a
But
little
yeah,
question for my international side of swimming. What is a bulkhead or I don't know.
the bulkhead is like the little floating like walkway that people usually convert a like 50-meter pool into a 25-yard pool.
Oh, like the thing that can move?
hmm
Okay. Got it.
But it like moves a lot, and it's like kind of like
Yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't even know about it before.
It makes for like an erotic swim. You're like flipping, you're like, ooh, where's the bulkhead?
Each flip is like a little different experience.
You never know if you're like hitting the wall exactly or not.
Yeah.
I'm always confused.
And you like plant your feet on the wall, you go to push off, and like the bulkhead literally moves backwards.
Yeah. I don't understand why you like that.
Yeah, it's like fun. I'm like, ooh.
You never know what happens. Oh,
You just
No,
hear
like
it,
for me,
this
it's just like not like vision problem. Like sometimes I just like swim in pool where because the bottom is like too clear, like I just cannot like find the difference. It's just vision problem. But like the difference between like this wall and this wall. So like I just like I keep going. For example, it's like this at GCU, and I don't like when the surface of the water is the same as the surface of the wall. Like for example, I don't know if you swam at UM, but that's how like their wall is. Like it's literally at the surface. So because like when I'm doing butterfly, for example, like the sky is like just blinding me at all, and you have like the wall, and I'm just like completely lost. So a pool can be fast, but pool like this, it's a no.
the small
Stop
things like
constructing
that. Oh, I get that.
Gloria, what about you? Is there
Sorry, what like
Is
the
there
pools?
yeah.
Like no, it's literally that. Like I feel like when they're shallow, like it feels faster. But also like okay, saltwater pools. I feel like I always swim faster when the
Oh
like
yeah, because like the
yeah, like, I don't know why.
Oh.
It's like, I just believe in it. I'm like, yeah, this is good. We know it's salt water. We're gonna swim fast. Like I don't know why. Like, but that's definitely in. Otherwise, I don't know. Okay, but here's the other question: do you guys like long course or short course?
Long course.
mix.
Yeah.
Since I'm in the US, mixed.
I
But
think,
He turns.
I think I like the ambiance of long course better. Like you're outside, like it's the morning, like you just get. But I mean, I really like to swim. I don't really like flipping. I think when I chose to swim when I was like 6 years old, I chose to swim. I didn't choose to like do underwaters, you know? And so like a caveat of short course is I feel like I'm just holding my breath for like 2 hours every day, right? So yeah, I guess I would choose long course then. I guess I would choose long course.
Yeah.
Except for like long course, anything fly. Like that's never gotten easier ever.
As a flyer, I cannot answer to that question. I'm a mix.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
you know, like that last 50, when the arm don't get out.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The struggle is
Like
real.
frightful. It's frightful. And then you get out and everyone's like, oh my gosh, I saw you die on that last 50. And you're like,
Oh.
thanks, bro.
Yeah, no. But otherwise, what has been your favorite championships and why? Or competition?
I can so I swim on the Haitian national team as well as the Bowdoin swim team, and one swim championship that I really enjoyed was the Central American and Caribbean Championship, like our regional meet in El Salvador. And that was fun because I think that was the swim meet with the most like atmosphere and like just like on deck just fun that I've ever been to. Like the crowd was just singing along to all these different music and like there's so much fun on deck between the different teams and stuff. And so I've been trying to bring that like that energy into more of the college meets. And it depends conference to conference what the energy is like, but that was definitely really fun to just have that much energy with the crowd and with all the people. So yeah.
I like it. As team wise, I would say like the ambience. No, it's not. I don't know how to say it.
Oh, you're there.
In like conference is always like something special. I feel like it's not like the same energy. But just international wise, I would say the Olympics because it was just like crazy. I remember like Leon Marchand race was just like too much. I've never seen like that many people like cheering and like screaming like, and yeah, I would say that, yes.
I think for me, well, I mean, I have 3. So NESCAX this year was really fun because it was my last one. So that was nice to like see everybody and just like it felt like a really nostalgic, I guess, experience. I think like international wise, I joined a swim team called G Madrid when I was abroad. And it was great. The G stands for gay, so it's like the Gay Madrid swimming team. But I didn't know that prior to joining the team, and so I showed up for our first meet, and it was a bunch of like 30-year-old like Spanish men just like getting lit. And it was one of the best experiences of my life.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was like their American daughter. They were like, "Oh my God, Jocelyn!" Like, and I was like, "Oh my God, like I love all of you." And the energy, it was really like the energy, and like I actually did swim the 200 fly in Madrid, and I actually won.
Wow.
No, but it was like not like it was not cute, but it was just like it was just like a really like well, I learned a lot because I feel like in the States like prior to going abroad, like I noticed a lot of people here like we're always so focused on times, and I mean rightfully so, like times are important, but we're always like, what's the next thing, what's the next thing, what's the next thing. A lot of the people I was swimming with in Madrid, like for example, a lot of them like immigrated from Peru and like they hadn't learned how to swim till they were like 40 years old, and like I was teaching them like how to do a breaststroke kick, and they were like, oh my God, my knees, like, and I was like, no, like it's literally fine. And it was just like a very like it was a really touching experience. And then when I won, like I literally still have my champion cap. But anyway, and then my last meet would probably be I know like not to plug diversity in aquatics, but it'd be the Black History meet when I was like 13.
Yeah.
Yep. Because I remember I pulled up like with my white mom again, and she was like the only white person there. And she was like, oh my God, you have to put on Beyonce. Like my daughter is Beyonce. And I was like, period, mom, like you call them. And I swam great because I had been swimming for like a predominantly white team. And so I showed up to the meet and I was just like, oh my God, like everyone here is so, beautiful. Like it was just, the energy was really unmatched. And yeah, I loved it.
Oh, it's so nice. No, like definitely the same like with you. Like my last ACCs, like some couple weeks ago, like it was literally the best meet ever we've had. Just in a team as general, like
I
Yeah, we performed good. Like we all did so great, but just
Yeah.
also like I think it's because it was the last meet, like just it hitting like as a senior, like been doing this for 4 years now. I don't know. It just like we were all just so happy, like the energy on the deck, like we were like cheering so much together as a team, and like after the last relay, like we were all just crying together. Everyone was crying and like hugging each other. Even the coaches were crying after in our meeting, like to summarize the meet. I don't know. It was just so great to see like how our team has grown from like coming in freshman year and having ACCs. Like I was so nervous and like stressed and like just seeing like how it changed and like finally having like that nice happy ending. So that was just so great. But also the Olympics, like that was just so amazing. Like and just getting to meet you guys, for instance, and like meeting so many new people and getting to experience like crazy swims, like that was definitely like something I cherish so much and I'm so grateful for.
Yeah, I gotta add to my list. The Olympics was nuts. But then also I also went to the black championship meet when I was like I went when I was like 8 all the way up to 12. I was there all the time in DC, and
Really?
I was just sick to see like the black community in the US swimming at all ages. But the Olympics was just a spectacle on another level, and just the competition was just second to none. So that was really fun to watch too.
Definitely. Oh, we have another good question here. What is a good championships meet? Warm up. What do you do? Share a little tips or secrets of your warm ups.
I just like like follow my process. I'm forgetting all of my words right now. It's awful. But usually, for example, I remember when I was like a kid until I was 17 or something like this. I was like swimming in short course meter. I don't know how to say it.
Yes.
And it's like just a little bit longer than short course yards. And every time I had meet in long course, I remember doing like a lot of breathing exercises, like maybe like 850s, 1050s, just to like, because it's not the same like practicing in long course, no, in short course and then going to a meet long. But I feel like it's like really important to like know in which like area are you gonna swim and what can you do to like adapt to it mostly.
Definitely.
I think for me, like the first day of a meet, I usually do like I have like a 600, 475s, like 825s, and then whatever I feel like it. I don't really do like a long warm up. But then like the second day on of the meet, I kind of sort of like just do whatever I feel like as long as I'm warmed up, like because I will acknowledge like I remember when I was 12, I really like didn't have to warm up. Like I was that kind of swimmer that would just be like, all right, like it's time to go, like better get on it. But now like I'm like I guess I'm a woman, so I can't like I have to get the hips moving, you know. And so like I feel like as long as it's a warm up, like I'll do it. But one thing I do, like I always love to like move fast during warm up. I feel like it's important to like get my heart rate up. Also just like it's kind of fun. Like when you put your tuxedo on, you get in and you're like, oh my gosh, okay, like I got this. Like I'm good at swimming. So I don't think I have like a go-to warm up. I usually just do what my coach says, and then like I get out when I feel warm.
Yeah, I mean, since I'm doing all breaststroke mostly, I just try to break down my stroke into the individual components and just like warm those up and then put it back all together. So I'll do some kick work, some pull work, some like tempo, timing, and then put it all together into some pace, some surface push, some dives, and then get out before I'm too cold.
No, but that's good. Like I always try to be around 1,000 or like 1,200. And like just from that is like working on heart rate pace. If it's the 50 I'm swimming, then I'm doing more sprints and I incorporate like socks and a chute to work with resistance and non-resistance. Always have fins and paddles just to like work on the speed. And if it's like the 200 or the 100 freestyle, then we're working like more heart rates just and like descend and ascend. I don't know if that's the right saying, but yeah, like just working with speed work and trying to get the heart rate up. It just always like depending on what you swim, but as long as you also feel confident that you don't change your warm up, just like
Mhm.
randomly showing up to a meet feeling like you have to change always try to like stick with what you've been practicing at practice and have similar things that you know that will work for you later on throughout the meet. So
Yeah, and to that point, like this is a conversation you can have with your coach. Like as you're practicing, you can figure out a drill that like really, really works well for you. During test sets, a lot of the times, I'm sure your coach will have you do like a warm up during practice, and a lot of times that's like a good working base to build off of. So, trying to think ahead so that you're not scrambling once you're at the warm up, just thinking about what you're gonna do. So, but yeah, I try to keep it consistent.
Yeah, one thing I also forgot to say that I think would be interesting to talk about are your guys' thoughts on like tapering. Because I don't like to do that long of a warm up because I'm like queen taper. Like I just like wait for it. So that way when the meet like rolls around, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I like to keep it short and sweet. But I feel like some people on our team like they're anti taper. But I don't know, whatever works for everybody, we do. So
Yeah, for taper, I usually do like a decent warm up, and then most of the times breaststroke is like earlier in the meet, so I usually just don't get back in because I get cold very easily. So it's whatever you prioritize. So if you prioritize another swim in, that's fine and you can do that. If you prioritize staying warm and conserving your energy and stuff, then that's another strategy too. I'm sure there's like sports science to back up either strategy, but what works for me is staying warm and off my feet.
no, because I noticed that too. Like I feel like the Americans especially like would choose to do a warm up, change into the suit, and then get back in and do another warm up. But like I'm used to like the like from back home, like we do a warm up and then we do like a land warm up. Like I'll be warming
Yeah.
up on land instead, like trying to keep warm and getting my heart rate up again on land, right? Like maybe 30 minutes, 20 minutes before again I swim.
For me, like taper is kind of weird because mostly like first like during taper, I just don't like the feelings that I have in the water. I just feel like I'm kind of losing everything. But um I also like sometimes saw, I remember when I arrived, like some people do their warm up and then they put a tech suit and then they swim with that. But I just don't like having like the feeling of like a wet like tech suit
Yeah.
like on me or something like this. I just like rather like stay warm, having like a little beanie, like everything. And I also don't like dry land or stuff like this. I feel like I get tired too easily. I'll be one step and I'm gone. Sometimes when I see people do that in the calling room, I'm like, damn. Some people can actually do that. This is not me. Let me see what.
Always a Christian.
Wait,
Yeah.
I think it'd be helpful just for this conversation for us to like say what our strokes are, just to give like an idea of what we're doing. So I'm doing 50, 100, and 200 breaststroke primarily.
I swim breast and free.
I do free everything except breaststroke. Yeah, and sprint.
I do 50 and 100 freestyle.
We
200
need to get
sometimes.
like a backstroker on here or something.
Right? Yeah, getting all the
Yeah.
I mean backstroker, but just for a 50, not
cover.
not expect me like to do like for the sprint. Just see me on the 50 and 100 breaststroke. That's where you can see me.
A good land warm up. To Gloria's point, I think jump rope is like one of the greatest like swim meet like go to tools to have. Like it gets the heart going and it warms up most of your muscles. So I'm a big fan of the jump rope.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, that one is definitely great. Like I'm always like trying to do like jumps too as well. And if I need to, I'll do dynamics again, maybe. Like we have our team's dynamic and like just get other things from there that I like that help me to get my heart rate up. But I just feel like it's also a way to like get going before your event. I don't know. It just feels like it helps. Like I feel more ready then and like more energized.
Mhm.
But speaking of energized, what foods do you take to the meet to stay energized and fueled? What's your go-to snack? Oh, he's bringing it out maybe, right?
Well, I still have extras from our conference meet, but we've got go squeeze over here, and then chewy bars. My coach is just a big proponent on sugar, because that's what you're going to be burning meat. So get as much sugar as you can. Sugar and carbs.
Mm.
I'm a go-to for the granola bar. Since I'm here, I'm addicted to it, so you always find one in my bag.
I really like I love grapes. Like I will go through like a whole thing of grapes at a meet. And I didn't even like want to answer because I mean like I also really love to eat like candy at a meet. Like I know that that's bad, but I'm just like it's really quick. And then like if you crash later, like that doesn't matter because we're living in the present.
You're bound to crash.
You're
You
so-
gotta do that anyway.
So it's like, oh my God. Also, like, I used to never drink coffee. Like, I used to be anti caffeine, but now I'm like heavy caffeine. Like, me and caffeine, we're like this. So I like a good, like, Americano with grapes.
Oh, okay.
That's like, that's what we do. And then, like, a Sour Patch Kids on the side. I think that's like my
Okay.
go-to.
Nice
Yeah,
little mix.
right.
I
right.
know I'm definitely with it. Like I have a bar. I don't remember the name. Like I'm blanking. It's somewhere here, but it's like the real fruit bars, like the blueberry, the
So those are good
raspberry,
too.
like those ones. Those are my go-to always. But also like I like to eat like an oatmeal, like between like I don't know why I have this superstition, but like between the tryouts and the finals, I have to get a little like oatmeal bowl before. I don't know why, but like just to make sure that I'm getting enough fuel before. Because sometimes when you eat lunch, it can be like quite a long time in between the final start. But just to make sure to have energy while going. Otherwise, like any fruits like bananas too, I like to have in my bag too. So
Those are good.
yeah, it's just so important though. Like I feel like many people forget the importance of like how often you have to like make sure you're getting energy and um make sure to just stay like eat your carbs too throughout the meet. So definitely. But are there any foods that you feel like you want to avoid during the meet? Like something
Spicy.
that yes.
Wait, what?
Foods to avoid is, I mean, definitely spicy food.
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
spicy going into practice.
Well, like I also like I have a hard time. I mean everybody has a hard time during meats, but I love like steak. I love like meat, like meat. But you can't eat that when you're wearing a knee skin because then it'll just like sit, and then you'll get behind the blocks and you'll be like, oh, like it's still like sitting. So I would probably like avoid that. Like I would avoid eating like you're at like the Ritz, and I would eat like, you're at the Olympics. Also, if caffeine is not your friend, like don't drink caffeine,
Yeah.
because you do not want to start spazzing behind the blocks. That would not be fun.
I feel something like I don't know if there's like any like one food to avoid, but for me it's just like mostly like to know like how do you digest, because I just feel like, for example, like eating like 3 hours before your race can be good, or if you need like 4 hours, like okay, eat like a consistent meal like the 4 hours prior, and maybe try to have like a little snack before because you just don't want to get behind the block and have your belly hungry, but just like yeah, like stay like good. Like for me, I eat whatever I want. I don't really think about it. I'm just like as long as like I know I have digest, I'm like okay, like you make me feel like good in my head, I'm good.
Yeah, no, definitely. And like no, like you said, like don't eat spicy food. Like for me, like no lactose. Like just know like what you can handle and what you can't handle. Especially too. I don't know if you have it, but like during meets you have the stomach belly. So
Yeah.
like you're extra you can be like extra sensitive to things. So like have that in mind as well and just see what works best.
Yeah, I mean, we're athletes at the end of the day, so you got to know yourself well, and it's like, what foods do I tend to enjoy, one, and that like actually like prepare me. That comes with the wealth of knowledge and experience that is like college swimming. You'll figure out what is your go-to snacks and stuff, but thinking about these things, that's good. I think that's gonna be my motto, but it's like thinking ahead of time, like just knowing yourself well enough to know like, what should I eat in the breakfast before? Should I go light? Should I get heavy? Am I preparing for a big race? Do I have a long day? I don't know. I like to plan ahead.
No, but it's good. It's important. It also like feels like you feel more like calm and confident. Like if I have my plan, I can follow the plan. So
Yeah.
definitely agree with you there.
Yeah, I totally agree too. I also don't know if this is weird, but I like keep an agenda where I write like everything down, because I know like our coach sends us an itinerary and stuff, but if I write it down, I'm like, oh, like it just makes me feel really calm. And then I know like if we have to get up at 6:30, like, and like I'm gonna swim, you know, at 10 a.m. Like maybe I won't pull up to breakfast at 9:55 and like expect that to be okay. Just like it helps with like punctuality, anxiety, and it like it makes like your, you know, like your bathroom break, like you're not rushing, like,
Yeah.
you know, you're good to go. So
Definitely.
Yeah, it's like, will I need to use the restroom before I put on this tech suit? Like,
right,
like
right.
you gotta be ahead of time.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I also plan it. I mean, my go-to breakfast, like my mom used to make me when I was, but now I deal with it in college, whatever. I like make an egg sandwich. That's like my lucky thing before like every race. But it also like, you know, it like cleanses the soul. Like you go do it and then you put your tech suit on, you're like, wow, like I'm set. I'm good to go. So
Yeah, sometimes it's important to have like the itinerary that you were saying, like just have like yourself. You're like, okay, I check the meet mobile. I'm swimming at, let's say, 9:42. I need to get in the water 1 hour and 30. So it helps you like to not be like, oh my god, I'm in a rush, like I don't have time, and I feel like it just
right.
I'm on the clock, or I don't know how you want to call it. Sorry, my English is really bad, but
Oh,
just
your
like
English is great. Your English is great. Like never like you're doing fantastic. Like I'm your biggest hype woman, seriously. Like you're
no, but
the
like some days like I have like good English, some days I don't, and all today I've been struggling. So I just know like
no, it's fine. Like I started speaking in Spanish in class by accident. And so I had to do a lap around the school to remind myself that that's fine. So
No, but that's great. What about any vitamins or supplements? Do you guys take any during the meets or electrolytes? Would you recommend to take any?
Coconut water.
Okay.
I mean, I keep it simple. Coconut water and like multivitamins throughout the week, but nothing. I don't know. I haven't tried anything all that like involved.
I've seen at the Olympics a bunch of swimmer using the Morton. I don't know how to say it.
Yes.
So since I have tried it and I really like it, but I do have a but. Do not take it multiple days in a row. It's not good for your belly. I have a victim of that. And I know like, okay, in case you don't want to try the Morton, because it's like kind of like a buffer for like races and stuff. I know like my friend, she put, I think it's baking soda. I think she put baking soda and whatever liquid you want, and then it's also work as a buffer. So yeah. And our coach also give us cherry juice after race because it's a really good antioxidant.
Yes, good for recovery. No, it's definitely the same for me there. Like I've tried Motrin too. We also have like bicarbonate you can take, like the pills, or you can do the baking powder as well. Whatever like works for you, that's really helpful. But also like just electrolytes. Like if you can buy the ones like at Target just to fill up and have like English now again, but like to stay hydrated as well. Like Gatorade, Powerade, any type of those drinks as well is good to have too on the pool deck. So yeah, those are the ones I count.
yeah, I just drink water. And like liquid IV is nice sometimes. But I just like take my morning Allegra. And then I'm like set. Oh, I love Diet Coke, but that's not an electrolyte. Like, I would not recommend like
I
drinking
think that might dehydrate you.
But hey, if it's good,
but it's like it's gotta be low carb water. So I just like I bring my hydro flask and my goal is just like finish it.
Yeah.
Because I used to like wake up and like not drink any water and I'd be like fine. But then I'd, you know, get like a migraine and I'd be like, oh my God, I have these mystery migraines. And it's like, oh my gosh, Jocelyn, like if you don't drink water for like 4 days, like you're going to have a headache. So yeah, I would just like really anything. I think some people on our team, I feel like creatine is like a thing right now, but I don't really know much about it. I've never tried it. I think a lot of the women's team really just likes the liquid IV and like the vitamin C packets you can take because we're not getting sick out here. Like no.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there, so just do your due diligence and make sure like whatever you're getting is rated and healthy because a lot of people try to push a lot of different products out there. So just make sure you know what it is that you're taking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I also would not take, I mean, one thing I forgot to mention is like pre-workout. A lot of people on our team really like. I would not recommend like your first time taking pre-workout be like right before your race. Like that would probably work against you. But some people really like it. I've never tried it. So
it's a hit or miss, but always try. Like even the same with the Morton, like you said, Umi, with the stomach, like try the things I practiced before and just to make sure like, okay, this is fine, rather than having it on your big most important event and like it not working out for you. So definitely try before. But also like Alex say, check up what you're buying, like what you're actually taking to make sure that it's not on the doping list, just to be safe and make sure. But no, yeah. Guys, we're coming to an end to this meeting. Before we end, I want you guys to share any last like tips to anyone who has a meet coming up as it is championship season.
Yeah.
What would we like to share to everyone out there watching tonight?
Have fun. That's the most
very
important.
good. Yup.
Yeah, like because we're doing this sport because we like it and it's really important to like enjoy it. So have fun. And no matter also because it's also like really on I feel the aspect part, the mental aspect part. Um at the end, whatever is the outcome, whatever is the time, that is it your goal or not, don't let that time define you. You are an athlete and also like a person, and that time also don't reflect you as a person and also you as an athlete, but just you at that moment. And don't take it like too deep, just see that as the big picture.
That's great.
Yeah, I completely agree with what Umi just said. One other thing that I would suggest, have you guys heard the song Pretty Girl Mantra? No? Okay, well, I mean, you should listen to it if you haven't. There's also another really good song called Espresso Macchiato that just like kind of Pretty Girl Mantra, like I think the gist is like you are the main character. Espresso Macchiato is like life is a blessing, like, but you know, like don't take things that seriously all the time. And I think just like my advice, I just like I was thinking of what to say and I was like, oh my God, this song. It's like you guys have to listen to the songs. But my advice would just be like when you walk up to the blocks, like you are the main character. Like you have one lane. This is what you're gonna do. Like I would not worry about anybody else. Some of my best races I've had, I'm just like extremely tunnel visioned. And also no matter what happens, like you did it. Like that's fantastic. And I think like one race is not a determinant of like what will happen in the future, like the work you've put in, because you really like at the end of the day you have no idea how you're going to wake up on like Tuesday March 17th, like how you're going to feel that day. Like you can really only control today. So I mean just like enjoy it and you know live it up. So
Yeah, I mean, echoing what everyone else said, I think focus on having fun and focus on competing. And it's like you can be a good competitor and race, end up dead last or gain time, and you can still have competed. And it's like there's no benchmark for competition as long as you're in that pool fighting for the times against other people. Like you're doing the sport. So you guys are all pretty knowledgeable at this point. You've have been swimming and training for hours, months. I don't even know what it accumulates at this point, but trust yourself. Whatever happens, happens, and just have fun.
No, yes, definitely. And always, in the end of the day, think about that young girl, that young boy that started off swimming, how much fun they had. And just remember that they're proud of you. No matter what, they're proud of you. So always picture that little boy or little girl and know that you made them proud. But no, yeah, thank you guys so much for tagging along on this live. If you want to reach out to us, please reach out to me, Gloria Muzito, or
Jocelyn, are we thinking email or phone number or
yes,
yeah,
email or
like
Instagram.
jnichols at 25 at amherst.edu.
Yes, and gloriaanna3@gmail.com. But you can also reach us out on the Diversity in Aquatics Instagram, but also our private Instagrams at Gloria Muzito and at
Nichols. And I don't know what Alex's is or Umi's, but I assume that they're
Yeah, my Instagram's at Alexander S. Grand Pierre, all one word.
And me, it's Umi, the little bar
underscore.
DXOP. Yeah.
yes. But also for next month's First Friday, please make sure to send in your requests for what topics you want us to cover. I will make sure to have that in mind. But thank you so much and
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a good night.